So what's up, guys? So the last video you saw my second drift event in this car. It was a nice drift weekend. It was amazing. Best driving that I've ever done. I got pushed so hard and it was like the car did outstanding. I mean, besides the small power steering issues I was having, I mean, it still drove. All I had to do was just keep the fluid up. So that was 2 weekends ago. And this past weekend I came here and I replaced the power steering pump. I got a new one online. I grabbed a different power steering rack from one of my friends and threw that in. So I kind of replaced both the things with the power steering, and I'm hoping we won't have an issue again. Inspecting the rack though, I'm pretty sure the rack was fine, but it was just the peace of mind of throwing a new one in. So I didn't film any of that this last weekend. I apologize for that, but I was just in the zone and I didn't have much time to work on it. But like I said, this shop is a complete and utter disaster. And all I have to do today is basically a quick alignment because of the new rack, and a bolt check and a fluid check. So before I even touch the car, which I really want to do, I am going to just tackle cleaning this garage as much as I can without messing with Ted's stuff. It's been something I've been meaning to do for a while. So I'm just gonna get to it. Probably set up a time lapse with some music. It'll look really cool for you guys, but it's gonna suck for me. But let's see how long it takes me. It is 4:26 right now. So I'm gonna set this up and let's see how quickly I can do this. So, not bad. I still have to sort all my sockets, but I cleaned off all this, most of that. I left a bunch of Ted stuff because I'm not sure, I don't want to throw anything away that's not trash. Ted's kind of working over here, so I didn't want to touch that. We have this big pile of cardboard. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the work I need to do to the RX-7 quick, and then I'm gonna fill it up with cardboard and take it to my apartment to put in the cardboard disposal. But not bad. I didn't film anything more, but my alignment is spot on. It was a little towed out in the rear, so I just brought that in a hair. I put all the cardboard that was here, folded it all up, stuck it in the back of the RX-7. Gave the RX-7 a bit of a wipe down. But like always, I'm in a rush again, so I'm gonna call it for now. Guys, so I'm finally getting around to checking for boost leaks. I've been trying to do this forever. Never really, I was just really too lazy. So I didn't really film this, obviously, but I grabbed a coupler and a PVC cap from Home Depot and one of the screw type valve stems, and I put it on a spot that was smooth on the backside. And I'm pressurizing the system with a tire pressure, tire filler inflator thing. It doesn't really push much air, but what it's allowed me to do is kind of spray around with some soapy water and wiggle the couplers. And I found that already this fitting's leaking, which is kind of obvious because this clamp is maxed out, and this coupler is leaking when you push it. So I'm gonna pressurize this real quick. It's gonna be kind of loud. I'll just skip it for the magic of editing. Okay, and I'll show you down here. Let's get some soapy water. Okay, and if you wiggle this, look at that. That's a bad one. And then up here as well. Actually, that's just that one. So I wonder what that one is. Because I could probably just tighten this clamp. Just a loose clamp, maybe? Weird. So I'm gonna go around and tighten up all the clamps, see if I can get that to do it. See what we get. So also, I plugged this port going to the valve cover, so I'm not pressurizing the crankcase. But what I am doing, I'm pressurizing this line, and I don't think that'll matter because all that's doing is pressurizing the intake manifold anyway. If it's opening the idle air control valve, which shouldn't be a problem, I guess. I may have to plug that throttle body. I might do that later. Because what it could be doing now is just leaking past rings if there's open valves. Yeah, I think you're supposed to plug the throttle body, but I don't, you know, it really doesn't need to hold pressure. You just need to be able to find leaks, and that's definitely a leak. So I'm going to go around and see if I can find any more. There's a big one. Yeah, that clamp is maxed out. No, let's try down here. What's up, guys? So I'm not sure where I left off filming. I don't know what I was doing the last time. I think I was doing boost leaks or something. But since the last video, or the last thing I filmed, I went to a car meet. And on the way, I was like taking my friend for a ride, and I ended up blowing up the power steering pump. And there's just power steering fluid all over the place. It's disgusting. And I got a rebuild kit for, it's actually pretty cheap. It was like under 20 bucks on Amazon. So I'm gonna try to rebuild one of the two pumps that I have already blown up, because this one actually like exploded, it like blew out like a seal. Another thing to mention, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it in a video or not, but I've always filmed all my clips for these videos on my iPhone, and I just upgraded to the 11, and it has a really nice front-facing camera. So now I can actually hopefully frame myself a little better, because I'd always film with the rear camera on the iPhone because it was better, but now the front-facing camera is actually just as good as, or it's not just as good, but it's really good. So anytime I'm going to be filming myself, I'm probably going to be using the front-facing camera. Try not to look at myself, because that's what I always used to do. It's always tough. But let me know what you guys think of the footage, if it's too weird or what. But I'm going to try to get some hopefully better video than usual with this new phone. Maybe try out the ultra wide, which is a new feature. So let me show you what I'm working with for today. I'm also going to be doing a lot of other stuff. Basically just trying to upgrade everything that was wrong at the last event. See how we do. Ooh.
It's so weird.
So like I said, I have that rebuild kit. I'm probably going to repair. This was the pump I believe that came with the 1J, and then this was the IS 300 pump I had. I'm going to get a new power steering cooler, and I'm going to run it with 6AN from the rack. I'm getting a bunch of new stuff. I got some new Murray style clamps from Turbo Smart to replace all the clamps and hopefully fix all the boost leaks. I also got an inline thermostat housing, which by the recommendation of my tuner, shout out Turbo Mike, he said he kind of gave me some tips on how to run stuff with the cooling system. So right now I'm using the stock thermostat, which is really warm. So I'm gonna drop to a 160 degree, and I'm gonna run the thermostat housing inline here with a few holes drilled in it. So I'm hoping that will keep temps a lot cooler. That's the plan. And then I believe I may have discovered that this line is probably the culprit for my power steering issues. So I don't know if you can see this. Let's bring it in a hair. Woo! Jeez. Okay, so when I first put this line on, I kinked it a bit, and I thought I straightened out the kink, but this has never really returned to full. And I didn't know that if you kink a PTFE hose, that it's like ruined, and you can feel that it's like crushed in here. So my guess is it's trying to push too much fluid through a crushed fitting, and that's what's blowing my pumps. So I got a new one of these from Chase Bays actually, and I'm gonna try to just clean up all these and make these all AN from the rack. Hopefully that'll do it. Also, I finally got a pigtail for this, so that's not gonna be so ghetto. So there's a lot of stuff I'm gonna be doing today. Ted's gonna be working on a bunch of stuff on his car. Mm-hmm. Ted, you want to share your news? Ted, share your news.
Do we want to share it yet?
I don't know. Maybe we should wait. I don't know.
It's gonna. I mean, by the time this video comes out, I will.
No, you know what? We should wait.
We should wait.
We should wait.
It doesn't. I mean, it's not gonna affect that.
We'll make a video. Ted's new car. We'll do all YouTube with like a blacked out. Like a thing that's not showing the car.
Do you want to get like a giant bed sheet and just
like... No, we could do that. It'll be super clickbaity.
We have parts for it.
All right, but we'll do this. So Ted's gonna be selling his Subaru and is getting, we'll give you a hint, he's getting another Nissan. So he'll have another Nissan daily. That's all we're gonna say.
No, there are parts for the vehicle in the shop that are not mine that you might notice somewhere.
Yes. Oh, and those aren't a hint. Those are for me. I don't know if I mentioned it. Okay. Just to clarify, these are not a hint. I stole these from my friend because I'm going to do some fun things and see if I can put these on my FC. But that's for another thing. So don't, if you caught those in the background, that's not the hint. Or is it?
There's other stuff.
Or is it? No, I don't know. I don't know. We shouldn't have even said it's a Nissan. Either it's going to be soon or you already saw it. This is all just a waste of time. Shouldn't even be talking. It's useless. Doesn't make any difference. Let's get to work. So as much as I really don't want to do this right now, first things first, I'm going to pull the junky pump out. Because as much as I just want to rebuild another one, might as well get this one off first. It's just as much work. I think I'm going to drain the coolant too while I'm at it, and that way I can just pull this radiator hose off because I have to for the coolant thingy anyway. So I'm just going to drain the coolant. Ooh, Mishimoto's have a petcock, don't they? Yeah! Okay, cool. Let's do that. So I have the old pump out, all the lines. I got a little paper laid down. I'm going to take this guy apart. I'm going to clean him up first, then take it apart and install all the new seals, put it back together. Hopefully we don't have any more issues with that. And there you have it. The rebuilt pump is now on the car. This is actually the pump that came with the engine. I don't know if any OGs are watching this video, but I replaced this pump thinking it was bad because there was a leak in one of the lines and the pump wouldn't stop making some noises. So that's the original pump. Now it's rebuilt, spins freely, everything's good. Hopefully I didn't mess it up. We'll know when I get all the lines connected and it's spraying fluid everywhere, but for now it seems to have worked. You know, everything went together right. I also pulled off the intercooler hoses, or most of them, to get the new clamps on. I'm like struggling to talk to. This is ridiculous. But still waiting on a few more parts to button up the power steering system. I got the new cooler coming and some AN fittings. And I'm going to see, actually, you know what? I'm going to see if I can get a plug, a bolt for that that's shorter, that'll just bottom out and not be ridiculous when we go out. Just because I hate how ghetto that looks. So, pulled off the thermostat housing, took the thermostat out, and gutted it. So all I had to do was cut off the posts holding the springs and everything on there. And this is basically just a gasket that will replace the old thermostat to make way for the new inline thermostat. So here I have the new inline thermostat housing. It's just screws in, and it has a similar type, like a gasket around the outside of the thermostat. When you install something like this, you just have to make sure the spring side points toward the engine. I don't think it matters which way it goes in this housing, as long as that's pointing toward the motor. So now I just have to fit this into the hose and get that all set up. But this is a really nice piece. I don't think it was very expensive either. I got this and the thermostat. It's like a Chevy thermostat. Got these both on jegs, and it was pretty cheap. And there we go. There's the new inline thermostat housing all installed. So I haven't done too much research into like why this helps. I know that you want this as close to the upper radiator as possible. And on these cars, the thermostat is actually down connected to the lower hose, and it's on like some diverter block. So this is going to react quicker to the temperature of the vehicle. So it's going to open sooner. It's also a 160 degree instead of a 185 or 180, whatever the stock one is. And it should react and keep the car at a cooler temperature, which will be great when I'm hot lapping. So got the new high pressure line in, and it's really nice. This Chase Bays stuff is awesome. I had to reuse this banjo still because no one offers, from what I could find, a power steering fitting that would fit in here. It's like a 12 by 125. Most of like S13 stuff is like 14 something. I can't find anyone that makes the same fitting with a 12, so it's really annoying. But this banjo's fine. I also cut this bolt down. I don't know if you ever saw how ghetto the setup was, but I cut it and put a little flat slot in it, so now it's like a plug. But I did get an AN adapter for this guy. It's a 16 millimeter. So I'm gonna run AN from here to the oil cooler whenever that decides to come in, the power steering cooler, and then from the cooler up to the reservoir. So just waiting on that freaking power steering cooler to come in. It says it's supposed to be out today. We'll see. I drilled a couple 1/8-inch holes in the thermostat to help it respond a bit quicker. I'm so excited. My fans actually cycle now. So the fan temp is 180, but because of the thermostat, it's actually letting it get lower. So you can see right now it's up to, let's see, 181. Now it's 180. Now watch, the fans are gonna come off. There they go. Now they're off. So they turn off at 175. Does things it's supposed to do. Yes! Ah! Also, these clamps are awesome. They're so nice. I unfortunately ordered 4 too few. For some reason I was thinking there was 6 on each side, but there's actually an extra pipe that I forgot about because it turns this way, turns that way, and then there's the straight. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on both sides. I only ordered 12, so I needed 16. Unfortunately, these clamps are not cheap. The pack of 2 is like $25, but they are fantastic. So I'm gonna get another couple packs of these. I'll put them in a few days, and that should be the same time the power steering cooler comes in, so I can finish setting that up. So I will pick this up when I get all those parts in, and we can test all the new stuff and make sure everything's good. Hopefully the weather is nice. I can take it for a nice ride and test everything out. Get it ready for the next drift event, which is this upcoming weekend. So, actually a week from today. Yeah. It's a week from today. All right, see you guys then. So got the new cooler in. I had bought an installation kit, but I must have thrown it away when I was cleaning out the garage. So instead what I did was I took some washers and ran some pretty heavy duty zip ties through the radiator from the backside with washers, and then fed them through and nipped the end off some other zip ties and fed them on, and then snipped it clean. So I have 4. That's not going anywhere. I also got some thick packing foam that was in some box. I think it came with like the Haltech or something. And I put this in between where the zip ties are, just so it has a little bit of gap, and this isn't scraping on the radiator at all. And I hopefully left enough room that I can run that AN line. It's a little tight, but we'll see. If not, I'll have to go grab a 90. On a bit of a time crunch, so I'm not filming too much tonight, but got the AN line run from the return from the rack to the cooler, and then from the cooler to the reservoir. So as of right now, it's just a 3/8 bung, but if I ever want to go to an AN reservoir later, I left myself plenty of slack so I could chop this, which might be the go-to sometimes, because I know they make like 10 AN adapters for here, and then I could just get a nice reservoir and make it look really pretty. But for now, that should do just fine. I got all the other Murray clamps in, so I'm gonna get to putting all the intercooler piping back together with these nice clamps. So I got all the Murray clamps installed, and I set up the boost leak tester, and it looked like it was building more pressure than it ever did before. Actually, even the dash was reading like 6 pounds, which like I mean, that's not even blocking off the throttle plate, that's just the whole system. And then all of a sudden the pressure kind of dropped, and I was like, oh no, I blew something. So I was checking, I probably found the next weakest link, ended up being the injector seat on one, it looks like, and it looks like it's leaking real bad. So I'm not even sure how much boost I'm gonna make. This is like really sad, but it's kind of crazy because like this isn't even 14 pounds with that little pump. Wasn't even close. So for it to blow that, it might have already been bad. I don't know. I'm gonna just button the car up and I'm gonna drive it home tonight to my apartment and just kind of give it a shakedown with the new power steering stuff, and we'll see if it can actually make full boost. I'm hoping it can, because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to get injector stuff in time. Man, it's a bummer. Such a bummer. I can try. Maybe I can get them. Maybe someone will have them, or I can find something on Amazon I can get by this Friday, because if I can get it this Friday, I can definitely do it after work. Oh man, sucks. Well, oh well, that's what this shit does. I really thought I had them all dialed now, but it's like really coming out of that injector. Damn. What's up, guys? So I'm back at the garage. I actually quickly ordered a set of injector O-rings and spacers and stuff. The drift event is tomorrow, and these were actually slated to come in tomorrow or Sunday, and they came in yesterday. So I rushed over here because I had to pack anyway for the event, because I'm going to drive up tonight and camp, and they came in. So I'm going to rip apart the injectors, slap these in, and see if it fixed the boost leak, and hope it, hopefully we actually get some nice differences, because those clamps are awesome. It definitely makes I can kind of feel like a difference in spool. Before it was kind of like lagging, but it wouldn't really make peak very consistently, but now it's not lagging as much, but it's coming up quickly to like 10, 11 pounds, and then it's tapering up to 14. And I think that if I fix this, it might kind of get it to that peak a little quicker. But it already felt a lot better. I just keep knocking out boost leaks. So I think this is the last one. So if I can do this, hopefully I have time to throw the boost leak tester back on it. But I really want to get packed and up back to my apartment so I can hang out a little bit, have some dinner before I head up there. So I'm going to try to bang this out. Not sure how much I'm going to film of it. Not sure how interesting it'd be to watch me install some injector O-rings, but oh well. Yeah, we'll see what I film. Probably nothing. Just got all the O-rings in. all set. I did a quick boost leak test, and it was the best that it's ever been. I was seeing like over 10 pounds on the dash, which is ridiculous. I could hear a little hissing coming out of one of the seals, but maybe they just need to seat. But this is by far better. The most I was ever able to get in the dash was 5. So I think we're set. I'm gonna button up the engine, get everything all dialed, check fluids, and then I'm going to start packing. So I'm all packed up, ready to go. I just realized I missed a really cool opportunity for a time lapse to show you guys how I cram everything into this car. But I'll actually just show you, in case anyone's wondering how to pack up for a pretty decent drift event with an RX-7 with as much power as me, and you need some tires. So here, actually I don't need much tires, but let me show you what I got going. Laid flat under the harness bar. And then I have spare parts underneath there. There's an axle, half shafts. Then I have another tire on top of that, flipped upside down, so I can put my mattress in it. I have one here, and it's important that this one be this tire size because otherwise it wouldn't fit. I got two chairs, a tent, some towels, the pump for the mattress in the strut tower. I have another one crammed back here with the jack stands and all my tools. And then down in the spare tire well, I have the compact jack, some fluids, and then my tool bag. And then this shuts. But you can see this is almost touching the glass here. And then in the front seat, I got a pop-up tent, a helmet, a spare helmet, my gloves, some drinks, and then I'll have enough room for a backpack. But you can see that's pretty crammed. And the benefit to this is you can still see out the rear view. But I don't think I'll be able to because I think, oh, actually, yeah. When I camp, I end up putting my sleeping bag and pillow right over there. Kind of squish it. I could theoretically kind of just sit it in the passenger seat, but I'd rather be able to look out the passenger window than out the back. But that's just me. So that'll do it for this one, guys. I'm all ready for the next drift event. The next video will probably be that event. And then I have just a week until the next one. So I'm not sure. Hopefully I don't break anything. Knock on wood. If I do end up breaking something, hopefully it's simple and it's something I can get fixed in a week, because the next weekend, October 5th and 6th, is going to be a 2-day event. But honestly, I expect to get even more seat time tomorrow because it's B and A group only. I just got bumped to A group at the end of the last event. So I plan on really getting some seat time tomorrow. So hopefully I don't rip through these tires, because like fixing something, I'm gonna have to cop some by the next week. But I'll have a pretty good idea. If by tomorrow, a few runs in, I'm really starting to rip through them, I'll just order 2 more so that they'll be, hopefully there and I can get them mounted before next weekend. But that'll do it for this one. If you like this video, guys, please hit the like button. If you want to keep following along with the 1J RX7, Ted's RB25Z, anything I do to my Z, hit subscribe and hit that little bell so you get notified when I post a video. I will see you guys next time. Bye.